Welcome to Ideagen TV. Today we are ecstatic to have with us Ernie Dupont, Senior Director for Workforce Initiatives at CVS Health. Ernie, welcome.
Well, thank you, George, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I look forward to our conversation.
Ernie, what an exciting time for the planet as we begin to emerge out of this global pandemic that is literally now at the year anniversary from when it all began. And it's equally exciting, and we're humbled to have you and later your colleagues as well on Ideagen TV today because of the outsized role you and your company are playing to help with vaccine distribution and just helping to bring normalcy back to the planet. And so as we kick off this interview, Ernie, can you share with our global audience a little bit about yourself and some of your key roles and responsibilities at CVS Health?
Absolutely. Thank you, George. Well, first of all, I always have to say that I'm a husband, a father, and a grandfather. And that's where I really am most prideful of the things that I am in terms of my role. I'm also a leader at CVS Health, where I'm really fortunate to work with a fantastic team of people and colleagues that really focus on breaking the cycle of poverty. We have an investment in individuals, and we believe in the potential of individuals. And we work through barriers in conjunction with a variety of partners across the country, some 1,500 partners that we currently work with. My team works really at the intersection of health, education, and workforce. We believe that all three of these are intertwined, interdependent. We believe that the solution to a lot of our community problems here in the U.S. are important to address across all three of those elements. My view is that we're, in addition to being interconnected, that it's important to address all three, along with some of the social determinants of health that we run into as barriers as well. So there are four elements that provide the foundation of our work. The first is the development of non-traditional pipelines of talent. This may sound a little odd, but we work through a variety of our partnerships to really invest in the communities and to provide people a hand up in order to be successful in their education and later on in their work life and their career, hopefully. The second element is around ensuring that the workforce that we have in our CVS stores, in our call centers, distribution centers, and so on, reflect the communities that we serve. That's very important to us. The third area is we amplify our positive impact in the community by addressing all these areas, health, education, and work, as well as other social determinants that create barriers to people's opportunity to be successful in their life. And finally, we take a long-term approach to our efforts. We actually grow roots in the community that we serve. We're in many communities, we've been in place with our partners for 15 and 20 years. And so we're very proud of the work that we do. And the partnerships are really the lifeblood of standing up these partnerships and programs.
And so that's an exciting description. And you mentioned partnerships and the other critical element, which is the key and the cornerstone of the Global Leadership Summit, which is the leadership element.
Yeah.
Why do you believe that perhaps now more than ever, we need strong leadership to help get the planet to not only rebuild, but as I know you all are focused on, to reimagine healthcare, reimagine pharmacy, reimagine all the things that you work on each and every day, reimagine workforce. Why is leadership so critically important today more than ever?
Yeah, George, that's a great question. I'd like to start by talking about our track record of leadership as a company. It started with a decision we made several years ago to stop selling tobacco products in our stores. That was not an easy decision. It was something that was a significant change. And it was later followed by a rebranding of our company as CVS Health, we made a determination that we are a healthcare company and we have to act as such. So as we more recently combined with Aetna, we became a company that we are today. And we really look at the 360 degrees of what the needs are for the customers, the clients that we serve. One of the most recent things that I'm most proud of also is our investment to make a $600 million investment in our communities to address social justice and equity. This has been a big undertaking, and really I'm so proud that our CEO made this investment early on last year, and we continue to work out those different elements that are part of that overall investment, one of which we lead within our workforce initiatives team. That's going to really produce a huge impact across many of our communities. Also, we invest in public housing. Project Health is an important part of this investment, as it puts clinics out there across the country in multiple locations where we have stores, and in some cases where we don't. We're introducing a mobile component to Project Health that's going to allow us to reach more communities, despite whether we have a store there or not. So we're really excited about the leadership that we've taken on in the healthcare industry, and we think it's important to be bold and make decisions that are going to impact our communities in positive ways, and perhaps haven't even been considered in previous years. So we're excited about our track record there.
Well, you have so much to be excited about. I mean, it's such an incredible journey that CVS Health has been on, and you can see the impact literally each and every day. Literally each and every day, all of the initiatives, the commitment that you just mentioned to social justice being one specific issue that you double down on, you're focused on. And so you and your role in workforce are helping to lead CVS. The approach to workforce development is changing constantly. Can you share with our global audience how you're changing the role, the impact, the outreach, and the future of workforce at CVS Health?
Yeah, it's really, I believe, unique, George, and I appreciate that question. Over the course of about 20 years now, CVS Health has made a commitment to doing a few things differently in our communities as it relates to talent. And so what we've done over 20 years is, I talked about breaking down the barriers to employment and taking away some of those obstacles, allowing people to thrive in their community. But starting back in the late 90s, we helped to shape welfare reform. We were at the table when we needed to talk about what needs to change in regard to helping people with a hand up to become successful, and especially those with barriers. There's really two approaches within CVS Health. One is more traditional. We have a talent acquisition team that's led by another leader of CVS. And that team really does look for the typical and traditional pipelines of talent, and goes to fill those roles through a variety of different sources and through a variety of different ways that are more in line with most companies. But on the other side of our business, we have a workforce initiatives team, and that's the team that I'm fortunate to lead. And we look for non-traditional pipelines of talent. So a lot of our work is investing in the communities by making sure we put the tools in place, the programs in place, the partnerships in place to help us give people what they need to be successful. So if you think about it this way, our talent acquisition team is really around finding talent and bringing talent on board with our organization. But our team is around building talent. It's around investing prior to employment, in some cases weeks, months, and even years, to help somebody get to a point of realizing their full potential. And it's really about potential. We leave so much untapped potential on the sidelines oftentimes that we really need to do some things to change that. And so we're looking for opportunities to help individuals across communities realize an opportunity either with CVS or with other companies that are a better fit for them individually. And we see both of those as a win. So we're really excited. And I'll tell you, just to give you a couple of statistics, we've historically over 20 years now, transitioned 115,000 people from welfare to work just within CVS. And one of the things we found is that many of those people are actually doing better because of the supports that have been put in place, and staying longer and progressing at a greater level than folks that may come through traditional channels. So we're very proud of that. And I'll give you one other example. Our apprenticeship program now has over 9,000 individuals that are apprentices across 22 states within CVS Health. And these individuals have taken kind of a non-traditional or an unlikely pathway to their education and their work. And so we're proud to say that part of what we're doing with our SJ&E opportunity here is to double the number of apprentices that we've previously brought on board. So we're very excited about our work. I think we're doing some creative things. And I think you'll be interested to hear a little later from Olivia about some of the things we're doing with our faith-based and second chance communities as well.
Ernie, it's awe-inspiring. It's awe-inspiring to hear, first of all, your passion, your incredible passion about the work that you're doing. The focus combined with that passion is just incredible. And so as we prepare for you to lead into this power panel with your colleagues from CVS Health, you're aware that at Ideagen, we're focused on helping to create awareness and ultimately to achieve the 17 global goals of the United Nations. Key for our global audience always is to understand that these 17 global goals were agreed upon unanimously by every single one of the 193 member states of the United Nations, by the way, including the United States of America.
Yeah.
And so as we lead into 2030, and CVS Health is clearly leading the way, we're looking at helping to create these critical awareness elements to connect the dots across companies, NGOs, and public sector, again, including CVS Health, and looking at ways to continually engage to help, make the world a better place and ultimately achieve those 17 goals. I'd like to ask, Ernie, how are you and your team at CVS Health looking towards the future, specifically in terms of creating sustainable living and ultimately helping to achieve those 17 goals? And I know there's specific goals within those that you're focused on. How are you and your team focused on that specific issue?
Yeah, so as you know, George, we're really, as I said earlier, focused on the intersection of health, education, and work. And just at that intersection alone, there's multiple of the 17 UN goals that we touch upon in our work. As I think more expansively around the work that we do as a company and as an enterprise, we actually go much further. And I was first introduced to these goals several years ago, and I believe by you. And as a result, I really think we touch upon just about every one. There may be a couple that we don't directly impact, but we touch upon just about every one. And I do believe that one of the best ways that folks can actually see what CVS Health is doing is to take a look at our corporate responsibility report that's published on a yearly basis. We have so much good information around how we're impacting the environment, how we're moving forward on the workforce and education fronts, how we obviously are impacting health across the country here in the US. So we have a multitude of different things that we do as a company, and we take very seriously as a company to impact those 17 goals in a variety of different ways. And I think what you'll find as we transition into our next segment here, that there's a number of things that we're doing that are a bit, more new to us, and I think are very exciting as we continue to align and drive some of the opportunities that exist across those 17 areas.
Incredible. And you are touching upon almost every single one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations as an enterprise. And we cannot wait. Our global audience cannot wait to hear this incredible upcoming Power Chat with you and your colleagues. Ernie, thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing this incredible power panel coming up shortly.
Thank you very much, George. It's been a pleasure to talk with you, and I look forward to continuing with my members of my team.
Likewise.
I'm very pleased today to be joined by two of my colleagues at CVS Health, Olivia Lang and Dave Lee. Both Olivia and Dave have been with us for very, different periods of time. I'd love to have each of you introduce yourself. So Olivia, could you just introduce yourself and say hello?
Yes. Hi. Thank you very much, Ernie. And I first want to say that I'm very happy today to be able to participate with my colleague, Dave, and also with you, Ernie, as moderator. The first time that I can remember being in a venue like this with you asking me questions was when you first interviewed me almost 18 years ago as workforce manager. But I would just like to simply say my tenure at CVS Health has been a rewarding one, starting back in 2001 as workforce manager and then being promoted as senior manager, and then recently director of faith-based partnerships. And my position over the years has evolved as our company has grown in their efforts in helping people on the path to better health, and also with our department as we reached our aspirational goal of breaking the cycle of poverty. So it's a pleasure for me to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olivia. It's great to have you here. Dave, you kind of took a different path to join CVS Health. I'd love to have you tell the folks watching this a little bit about how you came to work with CVS and a little bit about your background and role.
Sure thing. Thanks, Ernie. It's a pleasure to be here with you both. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood in upstate New York, and it was a military career that really exposed me to a lot of different diverse people and diverse backgrounds and cultures. I had the opportunity to go to West Point and afterwards was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Army and served for over 24 years before retiring as a colonel. Throughout my career, I had the opportunity to live overseas, working with service members from other countries all around the world. But I think, a couple of the experiences I had in uniform that really prepared me for our role within workforce initiatives began when I ran refugee camps in Cuba. It really taught me to appreciate what we have here in the United States and what other people see as the opportunity within our country. And I'll tell you too, just meeting people and living around our own country gave me a lot of unique experiences throughout my career. When I retired, I decided to start my own business, and from that, found myself continually coming back and talking about my experience in uniform. And I would work with veterans, kind of one-on-one to help others as they transitioned and understand what the value of what they did in uniform could be used once they left service. And what I've learned in the 10 plus years since I retired is that helping other people is really what gives me a sense of purpose in all that I do. And the values at CVS really connect strongly with my own, and the opportunity to really provide selfless service to others, is what's connected me with all the members of our team that work so hard every day to help people in communities all across the United States.
Wow, that's just an incredible background, Dave. And I have to say thank you for your service and for all that you've done and the sacrifices certainly that you've made. And we're just thrilled to have you as part of our team. I'd like to go back to Olivia. And Olivia, in your current role right now, you're developing a faith-based program to really help eliminate the whole idea of poverty, and also reduce inequality. And could you talk a little bit about what your team and yourself, what you're doing to impact those areas?
Sure, Ernie. Thank you very much. The role of faith-based partnerships evolved out of our response to address the social justice and equity initiative at CVS Health. So our commitment to engage the faith-based community will first and foremost require us to continue to develop those strategic partnerships, Ernie, in the community that will help us collectively share our purpose, our values, and to do the work together that we know that will help our communities make successful transition for those individuals that are transitioning from the justice system, from those individuals from disenfranchised communities. This work will help us continue our work, Ernie, in establishing those customized programs that we know that our community needs. Those customized programs in the area of workforce development, providing customized programs, internships, job shadowing programs for our youth, incumbent worker programs for individuals to help them advance within the company. And then lastly, those direct hire programs that will offer individuals career opportunities. And lastly, I would say that this work will be accomplished through establishing trust and caring relationships. It is important that the communities that we serve, that they trust us with this very important work. So therefore, by working with the faith-based community, we can collectively provide them with the caring services, the caring help that they need to be a vibrant and healthy community.
Yeah, that's really incredible work, I have to say, Olivia. And I know that there are some other things that are attached to the faith-based work that you're working on. One of those is to stand up a second chance program. Can you please describe a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish with Second Chance Citizens and overall what we want to see over the course of the next 5 years in that particular space?
All right, thank you, Ernie. Yes, this work is very important to CVS Health, and it makes good business sense. In support, again, of our social justice and equity efforts, we must be and lead the change that we want to see. This work is very important because it is our corporate social responsibility. We want to position ourselves to be the employer of choice for everyone, including our second chance candidates for employment. The second chance community cannot be overlooked or undervalued. They are a valuable workforce. Our prison system, and they need the affordable housing, the health, the workforce development, the educational services they need so they can return back to their communities and their homes and not back to prison. So I feel so honored to join my colleagues in this effort to help transition 9,000 second chance individuals back to their communities. And we cannot do this work alone. This work is being done in collaboration with our faith-based community, and collaborations with other corporations, and collaboration with the nonprofit community, and in collaborations with our ambassadors all across the world, all across the country that believe in this very important work.
Yeah, this is so incredibly important, Olivia, as you know, and with our ability to gain and find talent, it's especially important that we lean into these areas of both faith-based and second chance communities. Dave, I'd like to go over to you and ask you generally, what can you tell us about the role you play on the team today? And I know it's somewhat unique. Can you go into a little bit of detail about what you expect to see from your team over the years ahead?
Sure thing, Ernie. Thanks. You know, I feel fortunate that I have several different roles within the team of how I get to support the broader workforce initiative organization. And so I'll walk through those. You know, first and foremost is, like other parts of our organization, we have a community operations function where we have individuals partnering with nonprofit organizations in the local community in order to help provide pre-employment training to people and provide them a better opportunity to be hired either at CVS or at another organization. We have a military function as well that also provides similar opportunities for transitioning service members and military spouses that have their own unique challenges to finding employment, either for military spouses while their service member is moving from installation to installation, or for that transitioning service member that's ready to hang up the uniform and pursue a new career post-service. We have several other opportunities for us to provide training programs to people across the United States in the form of externships, and we also support apprenticeship programs within the team. And then we have some support functions to support the broader team, like providing data and analytics. And we'll be building out a platform in the not too distant future on Salesforce to help us improve our communications with our partners and program participants, as well as allowing us to better track the data of all the 15 to 1,600 partners that we work with throughout the year. We have a marketing and communications function to help tell our story. I've said ever since I joined the team 2 years ago, workforce initiatives is one of the best kept secrets, unfortunately, in the company, because we're doing some amazing work. And I hope to have the opportunity to tell the story of our team through our team members, as well as through the people that we have provided opportunities to in the communities that we serve. And you know, I've got to say, really, as you think about the opportunity for our team, it's more than helping somebody find a job. It's helping people find a career. And so one of the functions we'll be building out this year is a career development function, and looking at how can we start to engage with somebody before the pre-employment program and create awareness of our partnerships, and then help them as they go through training, understand how to apply for our jobs, and then as an interview, and then once hired, continue to engage with them, because we don't believe that transition for veterans or for people that may have disabilities or the other communities that we serve, that the process doesn't end by them getting a job. We need to continue to work with them to help them have a successful career at CVS.
Yeah, it really is such important work, Dave. And, you know, one of the elements that's unique about yourself, and we have a couple other members of the team that have some similar background, but you were in the military. Can you talk a little bit about how your role in the military has impacted how you think about your work within CVS Health?
Yeah, thanks, Ernie. Great question. You know, and I've got to start by saying that the military provided me an awful lot of experience and education. I'm a first-generation college grad, something that I'm very proud of. And that was provided to me by the ability to go to West Point. Had it not been for that opportunity, I'm not sure what I would be doing today. But while in the military, my education didn't stop when I graduated out of college. Through tuition assistance programs, as well as accredited programs in the military, I earned 3 master's degrees. And one of those was really focused heavily around strategy, which I think, you know, has helped me think differently while in uniform, but also think a little bit differently about how I approach problem solving in the jobs that I've done since I left the military. You know, and of course, you can't say enough about experience and learning different perspectives of people. You know, Ernie, you and I have talked a lot in recent weeks about how people having different perspectives can give them a different viewpoint on problem solving and understanding each other. Having had the opportunity to live overseas and serve with others from other countries really opened my eyes. You know, I've lived, I started in New York, I've lived in Alabama, California, you know, all across the country, and learning about just the different cultures within the United States has really helped me better understand the unique challenges in different communities that we serve in different states and different cities. And I think, though, the one thing through all my travels, both in and out of uniform, is I've come to understand that most people have one common goal that we all share. We have a desire to provide a home, have a family, provide food for that family, and have an opportunity for our children to do better than we've done. And that's one of the things that really excites me about the work that we do is we help people leave poverty and break that cycle of poverty. We're offering opportunities for parents to better position, take care of their children, and for those children to be on a path to have a better life than their parents had when they were children. And so every day I'm excited by our work and look forward to the new opportunities that we're going to have moving forward over the next few years.
Yeah, Dave, thanks for sharing that incredible foundation that you've built over the course of your career. Really is amazing. And I think it's been a huge benefit to us as a result of the experience you've gained through your military experience. Olivia, I'd like to jump back over to you, if I may. And I'd love to just hear from you about what you hope to accomplish over the next 5 years or so as we continue to build out and execute on our social justice and equity plans.
Thank you very much, Ernie. Over the next 5 years, we are very enthusiastic and passionate about the opportunity to reach 500,000 underserved individuals in partnership with the faith-based community. We will reach this goal in collaboration with the faith sector, national religious associations, national religious bodies, through the interfaith and ecumenical networks, in partnership with local congregations, and in addition to, as well, charitable organizations. So as a result of those 5 years, we will reach our goal. And we will be providing, again, workforce development opportunities, educational opportunities, scholarships, as well as healthcare services. Over the next 5 years, we'll reach our goal to reach 9,000 returning citizens. We are excited about the passion that our faith-based community is showing, their passionate service. Through our research, Ernie, we have found out that several faith-based organizations are already doing great work in the community. So CVS Health, we are looking forward to joining forces with the faith-based sector to serve this community. And again, I look forward to working with my colleagues. This is a company effort. It's a community effort. Again, we've stated before that we cannot do this alone. And I just look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you so much, Olivia. That really is fantastic. And we've got some aggressive goals. So
yes.
I know that you're up to meeting those, and your team is as well.
Yeah. And
Dave, I'd like to
Oh, I'm sorry, Ernie. And remember, these are the goals that you gave us.
Oh, Dave, let me move back to you with a question here as well. You know, as you think about the overall United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, can you maybe identify one particular goal that you see as fitting really well with the work that we're doing?
Yeah, Ernie, if I was to pick one, I'd say it's the third goal of good health and well-being. As a company, we have a strategy looking at well-being through 6 dimensions. Purpose, which includes, not just employment, but having a sense of purpose in the work that you do. And for some people, that can be their day-to-day job, or it can be through volunteering and supporting work with nonprofits. Social connectedness, and again, as a veteran, I understand the unique challenges that people have as they leave service, and feeling connected with American society, and the importance that is to your overall well-being. If you don't feel like you fit in, that certainly can have impacts on another element, which is your emotional health. and physical health. Of course, the work that we do of helping people break the cycle of poverty has an impact on financial security. And then I think as you look at each of these, they add into the sixth dimension, which is looking at character strengths, which there's multiple of those, but, really kind of broken down into categories of like wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, just to name a few. And so as we look at how we help people, within our organization, it's, as I mentioned before, it's not just giving somebody a job. It's helping them have good well-being, helping them feel secure in the role that they do by providing them training even after they have employment, and providing them an opportunity to connect with other individuals. We have colleague resource groups at CVS in an attempt to bring our organization together. With 10,000 stores across the United States, it's important for our organization to try and figure out how can we be a big organization, but also have a community focus. And those colleague resource groups really do a good job of bringing the teams together.
Thank you so much, Dave. I think that's so important as well. And the dimensions of well-being are critically important to our organization, but I think also to communities in general. So I want to kind of go to our final question, and I'm going to throw it out to both of you together. And maybe Olivia, you can answer first, and then Dave. And I'd also like you to maybe include any closing remarks you have. But, as folks that are business leaders, we think about actionable items and how we can move things forward. Are there any suggestions either of you may have about, for somebody viewing this video, what they might be able to do in terms of taking action based on the discussion we're having here today? Olivia, why don't you go ahead and start, please?
Sure. I would definitely encourage all listeners and the audience today to join forces with this awesome effort to change the lives of our communities that we all serve. Now is the time to take action in a helpful way. We can all do something. We can exchange information. We can join together to be a part of mobilizing our communities to help with workforce development services. You can volunteer to be a part of maybe registering someone for a health fair, or being a part of activating our communities to address COVID-19 needs of our community. So there's something that we all could do. And I think most importantly, when we join forces together as a community to help people on the path to better health, everyone wins, because there's a major opportunity that we can all join together to close those educational gaps, to close the workforce gap, to address those healthcare disparities. So again, I would just encourage anyone to it just would encourage you to get involved today. And we're open to establishing partnerships. You can contact us right at CVS Health. That information will be shared with you at the end of this broadcast.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Dave?
Yeah, Ernie, I've got to say that my work started in this space before I came to CVS. When I first left the military, I started working one-on-one with people. And so, sometimes it can be intimidating. We talk about breaking the cycle of poverty and other, very bold ideas. But you can do that by starting one person at a time and growing from that. And so I've had the opportunity to start small. And as I've had the opportunity to work with other organizations, scale the work that I've done. So I've gone where it was more of a passion to help veterans to now it's my job. And I also have the opportunity to help people with disabilities and youth programs and the many areas that we provide within our team. And so, the one thing is I would say to people is find one place to start. don't think that it's too small. Making a difference in one person's life can have long-term impacts, not only for that individual, but other people that they can then help. I've had veterans throughout the years that have, thanked me when I've helped them and promised to pay back the favor. And I've told them, don't. Pay it forward. Go out and help others. And if we really took that attitude of paying it forward, we could make a huge impact around the world.
Yeah, I can't agree more, Dave, and thank you for that. I just want to say on behalf of CVS Health, we're so proud to really be helping people on their path to better health across all the communities that we serve. And we couldn't be more proud either of the work we were fortunate to do in the space of workforce, education, and health combined to make a powerful combination of opportunities to lift people up across communities all across the country here. So we're very happy to have the opportunity here, and we thank Ideagen for the opportunity to have this forum to talk a little bit about our work. So thank you very much and have a great day.